Hey everyone, do you know that you can be caned if you overstay in Singapore? Singapore has strict laws when it comes to immigration, and today we are diving into the topic of overstaying and illegal immigration. Whether you're a resident, a visitor, or just curious about how these laws work, this video will break down everything in simple layman terms so that you can understand what happens if someone overstays their visa or enters Singapore illegally. Overstaying happens when a person remains in Singapore beyond the validity of their visa, social visit pass, or any other form of entry permit. This means that even if they entered Singapore legally, failing to leave before their visa expires makes them an overstayer. Illegal immigration, on the other hand, refers to entering Singapore without proper documentation, such as bypassing immigration checkpoints or using forged documents to gain entry. Both offences are taken very seriously under Singapore law, and the penalties can be severe. The main law governing overstaying and illegal immigration is the Immigration Act. Under Section 15, subsection 1, anyone who enters or remains in Singapore without a valid pass is committing an offence. Section 15, subsection 3 states that overstaying beyond 90 days is considered more serious and carries harsher penalties. For overstaying less than 90 days, offenders may be fined up to $4,000, imprisoned for up to 6 months, or both. If you overstay for more than 90 days, you can be jailed for up to 6 months and given, and listen carefully, given at least 3 strokes of mandatory caning. Caning, however, does not apply to women, persons over 50 years old, or those who are considered medically unfit. For illegal immigrants who enter Singapore without valid documents, the law imposes imprisonment of up to 6 months and mandatory caning of at least 3 strokes, with even harsher sentences for repeat offenders. Many people wonder why Singapore imposes such harsh punishments, including caning, for immigration offences. The primary reason is deterrence. As a small nation with limited resources, Singapore is an attractive destination for those seeking better opportunities, and strict immigration laws help prevent an influx of illegal immigrants that could strain public services, housing, and job markets. The mandatory caning serves as a powerful deterrent, reinforcing the country's zero-tolerance approach to illegal entry and overstaying. Another key reason is national security. Strict immigration control helps safeguard Singapore from potential threats such as human trafficking, smuggling, and even terrorism. Ensuring that everyone entering Singapore is properly documented allows the government to maintain strong security measures. Additionally, Singapore's legal system is built on the principle of the rule of law, ensuring that penalties are applied consistently to those who break immigration rules. Finally, the use of caning is also meant to deter repeat offenders. Some individuals may see fines or short sentences as minor consequences, especially if they are motivated by economic desperation. The severity of caning increases the stakes, making illegal entry or overstaying an even riskier decision. To illustrate how these laws apply in real life, let's consider 3 scenarios. In the first case, Jane, an Australian tourist, arrives in Singapore on a 30-day social visit pass. She enjoys her time so much that she forgets to renew her pass and overstays by 10 days. When she tries to leave, immigration officers discovers her overstay. Because her overstay is under 90 days, she is fined $1,000 and warned that she may be barred from re-entering Singapore for a period of time. In another example, Ali, a Bangladeshi national, enters Singapore legally on a short-term visit pass, but overstays for 120 days while searching for work. He is caught during an inspection and sentenced to 6 months in prison along with 3 strokes of the cane because his overstay exceeded 90 days. Last example, Rahman from a neighboring country like Indonesia sneaks into Singapore by boat, bypassing immigration controls entirely. He is arrested during a raid and, as an illegal immigrant, is sentenced to 6 months in prison and a minimum of 3 strokes of the cane for unlawfully entering the country. These examples highlight how Singapore enforces its immigration laws and how penalties increase depending on the severity of the offence. Singapore's strict stance on immigration ensures that the country remains secure and that its resources are not misused. While these penalties may seem harsh, they serve a necessary purpose in maintaining border security and deterring illegal entry. At the same time, it is important to recognize that many who overstay or enter illegally often do so out of desperation, seeking better opportunities or fleeing difficult situations. This is why immigration laws should be enforced with fairness, but also with compassion where appropriate. For tourists and foreign workers, the key takeaway is to always check visa validity and ensure compliance with Singapore's immigration rules. If unsure, seeking assistance from the Immigration and Checkpoints Authority can prevent legal trouble. Employers must also ensure that any foreign workers they hire are legally permitted to work in Singapore, because hiring illegal immigrants is a serious offence under the Employment of Foreign Manpower Act. That wraps up today's discussion on overstaying and illegal immigration in Singapore. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.